Guys and gals, welcome to episode numero cuatro of Too Much to Handle. I am Billy the Kid, and as usual, I am alongside the mighty AO. AO, how you doing, brother?
What's up, buddy? Speaking a little Spanish there.
Oh,
huh?
I gotta get
Numero cuatro.
numero cuatro. I gotta represent Dago, dog.
I
little,
like it.
Little Hispanic side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it shows you got some culture in you. And
Oh, absolutely. All those years of my Spanish language school down in Mission Valley are really paying off, aren't they?
but it's sad because
It's a good way to blow a couple grand, and once you don't follow up with it, I swear to God, with Spanish, like that if you don't use it, you lose it. That could not be more true. What do you think? Like, you're actually Hispanic, so
I know it's sad, and my mom's from Mexico, and I don't know Spanish.
your mom's from Mexico and you don't know Spanish,
Yep, I got gypped.
and you have a Hispanic last name,
See,
and you have a Hispanic tan, which is glorious, by the
yeah.
way.
I've been blessed by some of the good features.
Kissed by the sun.
No, it's. I need to learn it. I don't like you said it. You said you lose it. You haven't used it, and you
No,
do?
when I was studying and going to the foreign language center in Mission Valley, like once
Why
a
were
week,
you-
and I
why
had
were
the
you
books
doing this?
because I wanted to be bilingual. I still want to be bilingual.
Wow.
I think I still after 30 years of living in San Diego, I should speak Spanish, and I'm kind of let down with myself that I don't.
Yeah.
so.
How? When's the last time you tried? What was this? Ambitious goal a couple years ago.
Yeah. It was when I was living in Bankers Hill. It was actually when we were still filming the show on Discovery. I was like, man, I'm gonna do something with my time and money and
Nice.
learn how to speak Spanish. And I paid thousands of dollars, and I got through like 2 years of it, and I was actually getting semi-fluent. Like, I was starting to learn. See, what the school is like, you learn the proper. You learn like
The
the
conjugation.
conjugation and then the proper all that shit. How to read and write. When I wish there was a school that could just teach me
Did you have
how
a
to
cool
fucking
teacher?
speak. Yeah, I started with a cool teacher, and then she pushed me off to this younger guy who was Hispanic, and he was just kind of gnarly, like
Why didn't you just go to
like-
like a community college? Why you pay thousands of bucks?
because it's just
If you pay
focuses
more,
straight on the language and boom, boom, boom. Like, it's a good school. I'm not knocking the school. It's my own fault for not following up. Like, if I would have followed up another year or two, I'd be totally fluent right now. But
no,
that
but
shit was fucking expensive, bro.
hey,
like,
no, but you're still. It's good. You're Diego. You took a passion to fucking find a new language. That's cool.
well, I tried, and
It's
and
gonna
I'm
make
not
people
saying
proud.
It's not done. I will continue that shit eventually.
You're making me look bad because I'm Mexican and I don't even speak Spanish, and I'm like,
I'm white
dude.
as the pure driven snow, and your ass is Hispanic, and
I know.
you don't speak Spanish. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I am ashamed.
Fucking let down. Anyway, as usual, let's start with the weekend update. How was your weekend? What'd you do? Anything exciting? Any new chicks? Did you get laid? What's going on?
Oh man, I gotta now talk about because I've been single for a couple weeks now. The pressure.
Well, that's why we got to talk about it, because what's up? Any new chicks? Any new dating site fucking hits? What's up?
Got a couple dates lined up, and I was at a little La Jolla Shores open mic bar on fire again, and I actually met a girl out there. And it's every 2 weeks. So
No. I don't care about that. I'm asking you about the chick. We're talking about you and your sex life right now. That's how we start every show. Is AO sex life. That's what people want to hear.
No, it was a Asian girl.
No, you
Yeah.
fucking get it.
It was and it was like I think she just got done with like UCSD school for lawyers.
So
it was-
she's a smart one.
yeah, smart one.
Like
and she
A
was
lot of the Asian college girls are.
and I was
smart as
surprised. Like, I
hell.
never been to La Jolla Shores before, and
What?
and this guy, that JP gentleman that you met at my house that I'm doing open mic with. We did band practice prior to a little jam session, and then he kind of got me out there to kind of get up in front of people, and it was cool. So that's where I did Wish You Were Here, and anyways, I talked to her after. She's just interested about. She's going to be coming again in a couple weeks.
So, do you have anything lined up with her? Like,
No.
come on, let's cut the shit, bro. Like, I'm not trying to hear about your fucking open mic. I want to hear, did you get laid? Did you fucking, are you taking her to lunch? What's going on? Let's
No,
go.
no,
Let's cut
I-
the fat, dude. Come on.
This one I'm actually just gonna.
You like her?
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, you have respect for her. That's good.
There we go.
That's good. I'm not knocking you for it. I'm just saying, if you have respect for her, that's good. But just fucking say so. Don't beat around the bush with me, dude. Like, it's me. I'm your boy. We're on air. Like, come on.
No, it's crazy. Like I mentioned, this upcoming week, I just got a lot of things to look forward to. I did another open mic on Monday. I was at PB Bar Cantina, and there was a couple chicks there too.
Well, okay. Did you close anything, or let me guess, you gave me your fucking business card, and then didn't get their number, and let me guess, you're waiting for them to call you. You didn't do that again, did you?
No, I didn't do that.
You were looking at me with a blank stare. You didn't do that again, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, I hope everything works out. I hope this hot little Asian number works out for you.
And then when you met my buddy Mike, he has about 3 or 4 chicks coming down here for the Labor Day weekend. And
Labor Day
and
weekend's
and
good. That's a good single weekend, isn't it?
and it's gonna be bikini weekend at the pool.
Oh shit! Bikini weekend up in your condos, yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, AO lives up in the Villages, which used to be La Mirage, which used to be fuck man, it was like a Vegas hotspot up there. That used to be like rehab before rehab was around. That place was fucking crawling with bitches back in the day. I remember back in the late '80s, early '90s, like all the homies were like, "Dude, let's go to La
And I
Mirage."
didn't realize I was moving into that place, and it was
Well, Irvine Company took over and bought them, so they cleaned it up and made it. I mean, it's nice. It's really nice now. But back then, bro, I mean, even for then, it was nice. It
They'll
was
have
just
the
like
DJ
sleazy.
going.
you know?
Yeah, it's not sleazy. It's nice.
Oh, it's nice. Listen to you with your Barry White voice. Give me a fucking break. So nothing's popping as of yet. You're gonna hold off for this weekend. Like, you got no hits on any dating sites. Like, I know you're on Plenty of Fish and those ones, right? You know that site where chicks really think they're gonna meet their soulmate, but they're really getting banged out. And
Damn, I have to give it all up. I can't give it all up. There's another one. It's weird. Okay, it's online, and I actually took it to a friendship where I actually added. There's levels, right? Facebook. We did a Facebook friendship now.
Is this on the Facebook dating aspect?
No. This is someone I met on Match, and then it kind of went to the phone number, went to texting, and then I don't know. Like, you want to make sure the person's real. We're just. It's her birthday this weekend. We're just barely talking. It takes a little bit of work on these little.
Dude, I know.
You
That's
gotta-
why I'm asking you, bro. Like,
Not-
we start every week with the weekend update of your
There's
fucking
like-
love life, bro. That's people got to know. People wait to hear our next show because they want to know what your prowess has been the weekend leading up to. Like, come on, man.
Dang, it's a lot of
Like,
work.
you just told me about the hot little Asian gal you met at the fucking thing in La Jolla, and now you're telling me randomly, like out of the blue, about this chick you met on Facebook, and you're like,
No,
doing
she's from
background on her, like,
Yeah.
or from Match.
She's matching
and
out
then
on
you're on Facebook with her now.
Yeah.
So you're feeling her out.
Yeah.
So you haven't actually spoke to her live over the phone.
Correct. It's her
Oh.
birthday. She's going away, but we're text.
Okay, so let me get this right. So on these dating sites, and even Facebook, like, doesn't anyone pick up a phone and like talk to people?
I think it's age difference. It's weird. I like to talk, and
I know, but okay,
I
so
wa-
that's an age difference. Like, people don't communicate. Like, they don't pick up a phone and go, "Hey, what's up? My name is fucking AO. What's up, biatch?"
I think the girls are more into texting.
Wow, even when you don't even know them,
Yeah,
and so you set that all up via text or whatever on whatever
And
site,
let's
and then
say-
you
and
meet. So you do end up meeting them, obviously, somewhere.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? You just set that up on Facebook or something, and
they're
then you
probably
go
getting,
meet them.
They're probably getting hit up by a
God,
lot
how
of.
awkward would that be? Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That just makes me feel old and like I don't get that. Like, I'm from the old school, man.
you
I
can
just
fuck
would
it
walk
up
up
through
to a
text,
chick
too.
and meet a chick at a bar and
You
like,
can fuck
what
it
up?
up through Texas. So you got to.
Well, yeah, because text messaging is the most. Trust me, I've
Lots
gotten
of-
in more fights with my wife
There we go.
because of text messages. Because you can read the same text 17 different ways. It can be shitty, it can be nice, it can be sweet, it could be fucking anything. But if you don't like clarify, your ass can either be held to the fire or you're gonna blowjob that night. Like, there's like 2 different ways of looking at this thing. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, well, Well, hopefully this
I
new one
no.
on Facebook works out. I mean, do you guys have mutual interests? You're gonna hang out or something? Shit.
She has kids. I don't know. I'm like I said,
Why-
she's beautiful. That's all
Why
I
do you
know right
keep
now.
saying that? Like we've been through this before on previous episodes. She has kids. You need to accept the fact, bro, that you're 42 years old
Okay.
and you're gonna find gals that have kids your age. I mean, I did it, and I've never been happier. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Shush, little buddy. So
You're next.
okay, well, I
No.
mean, I guess if you don't,
I'm gonna.
is that a hindrance to you? You can't you program that on these? I almost said fuck site on these dating sites. Isn't there a filter where you could say like no kids?
I guess when I say that, first thing that comes up, there's more way responsibilities. You got to get serious. They don't fuck around. When they have kids, they're
Yeah, hello, I know all about that one.
I know. Then they probably got big expectations for me, and
Well,
I'm a
if you're
busy
not,
man.
well, if you're not ready for that, then why don't you set a filter where no children? Can't you do that on one of these sites?
But I want to stay open because there's this. It seems like how they describe
you're
themselves.
being kind of biased, then, bro. You can't like say no kids, but kids are cool if you're. It sounds to me like you're saying like kids are cool if you're really fucking hot. You know what I mean? That's what it sounds like to me.
Dude, I don't mean to present.
And I
that.
know you're not that shallow. You're not shallow Hal. You're unshallow AO, right?
Yes. But it
Well, then
helps.
what's the difference then? Like you said, oh, she has kids. You said it like it was a negative. So elaborate. I'm putting you on the spot.
To me, it's a lot of work.
Spotlight's on you.
You handle it pretty good, buddy. You do.
I handled it well. Like, yeah.
it-
I mean, it was easy for me because my wife and I dated 20 years prior, so I knew her, and her having a child was no hindrance to me. It was
So
it was actually really cool.
Yeah, I don't know this girl.
'Cause I don't
20
have
years
any other
prior,
kids.
So
Okay, so you can't use the kids as a negative thing.
okay, I need
Okay.
to to put that out of my vocabulary.
Okay,
We'll see.
That's fine.
I'm actually okay. Takes a lot.
clearly
Of
it's not a negative
But
thing.
here's my problem. Look, okay, what she knows I have a podcast going. She's gonna listen to this. I'm only gonna incriminate myself. I'm trying to say something positive. I do. I am a single man out there. Yes.
You are a single man. That's why every time we've talked on the show, we made it clear you have no loyalties to anyone yet because you're a single guy. You're dating people. There's there's nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, that's the mentality. I just want to go out and fun, and I don't know if I want to incriminate myself, but I want to get a lot of kisses and hugs out there for sure.
Chicka bow bow. Okay, for those of you who have been following the show for our last 3 episodes, we do have a new Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter will be out soon. We've got those set up with our social media director, so keep a look for the 2M2H podcast. Facebook and Instagram, those are up. We will have more content. We're going to actually, and I believe we have a YouTube channel as well. Is that right? Dale?
Everything's kind of synced together from what I understand. So
Yeah,
it's
so
really
we're gonna
cool. So
have-
all the platforms are going to be out there for our for us to be heard and listened to out there.
So we'll have content out there and more photos. I mean, bear with us. Other than just our wonderful logo, we're going to have some photos.
Like
of when
for
we
instance,
do,
today where we had
reviews.
lunch.
Yeah, well, every time we do a bar review, or every time we do a charity event, or every time AO and I are out on the town, we're going to take photos and download it to both the Instagram, Facebook, fucking website, and our website, all that shit. So just pay attention to it. We'll be there'll be a lot more coming real soon. Before you know it, there'll be a ton of shit on there. So bear with us. I did want to talk about, before we get into some of the crazy stories I have to talk about, do you believe OBJ got $95 million in a contract as a wide receiver with 65 of it guaranteed? What do you think about that?
I just saw that on the show earlier before we started, and he had all the those blonde locks, and I'm like, dang, this guy's.
I know. Have you seen all the the Instagram posts and all the shit that's been all over NFL Network and ESPN? And then if you look on any of the sites, all these people are glorifying him for making that much money. Other players are like congratulating him and
'Cause-
like dancing around with him. Like,
Oh, wow.
it's almost like they took advantage of the system. It just feels like they won the lottery. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me.
$95 million a lot. And how much did you say was guaranteed?
65 million. So if he
How many
gets
years?
hit, if he gets hit by a bus tomorrow and breaks both his legs, he still gets $65 million.
That's
No matter what. 65 is guaranteed. Now, have you ever seen a receiver since Jerry Rice that's fucking worth $95 million? I think it's a...
I know, but the
what is
way
it, 5 year? I think it's a 5-year deal. 5-year, $95 million. 5 years? You're on the fucking New York Giants with Eli Manning on the end of his career with a scrub draft pick behind him. $95 million? Are you fucking kidding me?
Is he-
Is that what it's like to play in New York? You get that kind of money? $65 million guaranteed? I'm sorry.
Is he-
I'm going to sit back and say nothing. You follow up
is
with
he
this, 'cause
is he
I'm
good, is he a
baffled.
good community person? What is he like beyond? Is it just pure
Is
sports?
OBJ a community person?
Then
Are you
why are
kidding
they
me?
giving them
This
that
guy's been
money?
in fights with fucking kicker nets on the sideline. This guy's a piece of shit. There's nothing about him.
Then why
I've
would they
watched
give
him
him
play.
this?
Like, ever since he made that one-handed catch,
It's-
everyone thinks he's like God's gift to fucking wide receivers. He's not led the league in any fucking statistical category.
Was he on
in
Dancing
wide
with the Stars
receivers.
or something?
Not yet. Oh, he will be once he takes his last $65 million check.
Dang.
His ass will be on
I'm
there.
going to congratulate him like those other people because that's great negotiation by saying all those bad stuff and still to garner that type of money.
You know, you're totally right.
And-
like I'm not hating on
Yeah,
him.
I'm not going to
But
hate.
don't get me wrong.
And then
I'm
open
hating on this.
and open up the doors for other wide receivers to make that type of money too. That's all it does. Like when that quarterback. But when does it end? You know.
Well, I don't see the value in wide receiver in that kind of
Oh.
money. Dude, come on, $95 million. That's fucking ridiculous. That's ridiculous money for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't see $95 million for a receiver. We're talking about OBJ, who, like, what's he done?
There's a
when's
lot
the last time? When's the last time OBJ was in the playoffs?
New York got it.
When's the
needs
last time
to
he
spend
did
that
anything?
Money. There's a lot of cash flow going through that.
I know.
system,
So okay. So let me ask you this: with the New York Giants, they're keeping him obviously 5 years, $95 million. Where do the Giants go from here? Do you see any bright future for the Giants? Eli Manning's going to retire any fucking second now. They have
He's
I can't
taking
even
him to
remember the
the-
backup quarterback or the guy they drafted. Like, what is the point of spending that much money on this guy?
They got to lock him up.
Lock him up for who?
What would they give him? The 85? What would you have given him? What is he worth? They got to sign him, right? He has a contract, and there's people going to match him. What would you?
You
What
know
kind of
I-
value
I-
would you give
You
him?
know what? I don't know if I could honestly put a value on him, but I think
Is
it
he-
is
is he wor-
current.
is he worth
on
the
his
highest
current fuck no.
Okay.
Do you think OBJ should be the highest paid receiver in football?
No, I haven't.
I know you're not as big as a football guy as I am, but you know football a little bit. Do you think he should be the highest paid football player or wide receiver in football? Do you think he should be paid higher than Antonio Brown? Do you think he deserves more money than Julio Jones? Do you
Yeah.
think he deserves more money than Devontae Adams? Do you think he deserves more money than what's his name, Mike, the guy in Tampa?
But you got to remember, this is their year. He's signing. It just happens. If those people are up for their contract, I guarantee they could probably get to that type of money now.
See, I don't know because no one else has, and
He-
there's other guys that are like 10 times better than him.
Next year, watch. Someone else will always keep on breaking. It'll be one
All
of those
I know
guys.
is like I saw like last year when or actually not last year, the year before when the Giants played the Packers, he dropped everything. Like I don't understand. I don't see the value in him. I don't see other than that. Trust me, if that dude didn't make that one-handed catch on Monday Night Football when Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth called that game, I think it was Monday or Sunday Night Football. If they weren't there to call that game and he didn't make that one-handed catch, we would not be having this conversation right now. I fucking guarantee it.
you can't take back time. He had to
I'm
do
not
something
taking back time. I'm just telling you,
just from
he is
one.
not worth that kind of money.
No, he's not
There
worth
is. I could name 5 receivers that are better than him today.
Obviously, the Giants value him. Yeah.
Well, you know what? You know what I want? I want OBJ's agent. I want him to negotiate my next contract for this podcast because that guy is awesome.
That's where we need
Like
to go
he's
look
the
at.
best. That guy's the best agent in football, as far as I'm concerned.
That's a great idea, agent.
Like think about it. Like if you like, it's not even like I'm not hating on OBJ.
You-
Good for him. Like fucking a. Like dude,
But he
somebody gave
sucks,
you that
and he's
much
not worth
money.
it. And
Like
so
good for you.
it's
That's
noted.
awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why all the other NFL players are dancing around because they all know like, damn homie, we all know you ain't worth that much money, but shit, you got $65 million guaranteed. Oh my God, it makes me choke almost to think about that much money that's guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating on them.
I'm not hating on them at all. I'm
And-
hating
and
on
then
the,
watch-
I'm hating on the fact that
So I'm going to
that
be interested
the
this
Giants
year now
agreed to that,
to
bro.
watch him. People are going to either watch him fail or do good. So that's going to be cool to
Oh,
watch.
well, you know what? Trust me, every single drop he has this year,
I know that's a
people
lot
are
of
going to be
pressure.
like, there's $10 million.
So
There's $10 million.
that's a lot of pressure to live with, and he signed up for that too.
He better fucking catch every fucking ball that Eli throws to him.
Watch.
Even if he
He's
if he
breaking
like
records.
shuffle passes shit to him, he better catch everything and
Keep a
score
great
a touchdown
attitude.
on
He
him.
better be sprinting. Just be.
He better lead the league in
He
touchdowns.
better. He better change his
fuck
attitude. How you
that.
said he was a whatever guy before. He's
Well,
gonna be.
you saw him. He was a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I saw him with his little curly.
Oh, this blonde, poofy, whatever. And that's fine. I don't care whatever he looks
Yeah,
like.
no,
That
that's
doesn't matter
style,
to me.
that's style.
But when he like had his little tirade with the kicker net post thing on the side of the sidelines and like all that shit.
Hey, everyone needs an ego check. It's all good.
God, he's just another Des Bryant, and he doesn't deserve that kind of money. That's fucking ridiculous to me. Speaking of ridiculous, I read this thing in the Huffington Post. There was $100,000 in ramen, bro, like ramen noodles, like ramen packages, stolen from a trailer down in Georgia that was parked at a Chevron on the side of the interstate.
Say that again.
Who
I don't
steals?
get it.
I know that's absurd, right? Somebody stole. I don't know how they put a value on this. Actually, I do because
Oh, they stole
So
$100,000 worth of ramen.
worth of ramen. How, dude? That to me, that's got to be like 18 trailers. But one trailer apparently had $100,000 in ramen
Each.
stolen from a trailer in Georgia, parked at a Chevron on the side of the interstate in Georgia. And they value. Okay, this is the funny thing. They wouldn't say if it was like Maruchan or whatever brand name it was, but they say that the value is 29 cents a pack at Target. That's how they value this. So at 29 cents a pack for these little ramen noodle packets, $100,000 worth. How the fuck do you? Who steals $100,000 in ramen noodles, bro? Who leaves an empty trailer of ramen noodles in Georgia? Are you that stupid in Georgia that you steal ramen noodles? Do you think there's a black market for ramen noodles? You're going to sell... Oh, I got ramen noodles, 15 cents, dog.
Maybe-
15 cents, dog.
Maybe those people who are coming
Go
down,
Bulldogs.
coming down the
15 cents, dog.
coming down the hill.
Go
on, you know,
Bulldogs.
Go yeah, Georgia Bulldogs. But what aren't those people in the back hills coming down, maybe doing some sabotage and stealing some ramen? Cause
Dude, they stole ramen out of a fucking tractor trailer that was parked at the side of the interstate. Ramen. Do you hear me? Ramen. That's compacted noodles.
someone's gonna be having some
Who
food
the
for a
fuck
while.
steals noodles?
It was, watch. It was
What are they going to do with noodles that are worth 29 cents a pack?
Robin Hood.
Sell them for 10?
Robin Hood giving.
Is
taking
Georgia
from
got
the-
a big ramen eating fucking population?
Well,
Come on. You know how
so-
silly this sounds?
And you said there was no arrest or anything. There's-
Yeah. No arrests have been made.
Yeah.
Oh, you think? What do they leave? Fucking fingerprints? Stealing ramen?
There's got to be cameras. or
Ramen.
something. Yeah.
They stole ramen out of a fucking trailer at a Chevron. Who are these people?
They made a good choice, huh? They'll
I'm
never
sorry.
Go.
I'm sorry, Southern states, but these kind of stories make you look dumber than you have ever. Georgia, you have people stealing ramen. Get it together. Not cool. On a lighter note, rest in peace, Aretha Franklin. I don't know if we touched on this last week.
No, you haven't. Thank
But
you.
The only thing, I think the only thing that was more tragic than Aretha Franklin dying was fucking Madonna and her speech at the Grammys about Aretha Franklin. Because the first, 80% of it was talking about herself. Oh, and I struggled and I did this and no one told me I could sing and I did this and that. It's like, bitch, talk about Aretha Franklin. No one gives a fuck about you right now. You're giving a speech about Aretha Franklin and all she did is talk about herself for like 10 minutes straight. 10 minutes. Do you know how long that is at the Grammys, bro? 10 minutes straight? That's a long time. Did you hear that?
No, I heard about it, and I didn't know she went on for that long. And I'm kind of shocked. It's like you give it a chance to go talk about someone nice, give all that respect to like Aretha, and you talk about yourself.
And she talked about herself. And
I didn't know. I've heard about all this criticism going on.
The irony is, the day Aretha passed away, Madonna turned 60. So maybe old age is setting in with Madonna. I don't know.
Maybe got reincarnated into her.
That's fucking. I was just like, come on, Madonna, will you shut up? Like, I only watched a bit of it, but it's like I turned the TV on, and I was like, oh, a piece on Aretha, like that's rad because she was fucking. That's numero uno soul sister from back in the day. She's fucking the best. Like Aretha Franklin, rest in peace. You're the shit. But to have I turned the TV on and Madonna is like going on and on and on and on and on and on and
so you watched the Grammys
on about herself. I turned it off because Madonna was like, she never shut the fuck up. I turned the shit off. Couldn't watch it anymore.
So not only did you feel it instantly, you got to witness that live. You've heard all the criticisms after too.
Oh yeah, it was all over the media, all over the radio. I listened to my usual DSC in the morning here in San Diego, and
what's DSC? What's that mean?
Well, it was Dave Shelley and Chainsaw here in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Shelley retired, so now it's Dave. I think they changed the S. Well, they didn't change the S. I think it's Sarah or one of the other gals. I can't remember. Anyway, the DSC show is still the best radio show. I don't care, bar none, in the country. Anyway, but they were like talking about Madonna's speech, and they aired part of it on the show, and I was like, oh god,
I gotta hear this again.
So morbid, it's terrible. You got it. You know what? Moving forward, we're gonna start doing. We need to start doing clips from some of this kind of stuff on our podcast, so people can hear what we're talking about. I'll be better prepared for that. But dude, it was tragic. It was terrible. It just bummed me out.
So what do we got coming for our guest tonight? Don't we? We haven't even mentioned anything about our guest.
I know. I feel bad.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, we do have our first guest tonight. His name is Jason Lee. He was a personal security guard to many, many rock stars. Didn't start that way, but he ended up being a very personal security guard for bands that we'll talk about after the break. We'll bring him on and we'll talk about some of the bands he provided service for, and he's also an author now. He's in the midst of writing a book about his experiences over the last 29 years. Jason and I were roommates back in 1989, so we've got tons of stories to talk about.
Yeah, you said you guys had one of your first jobs together and roommates, right?
Yeah, we were roommates and worked together back in the day. We met in 1989. It was probably 6 months after I moved to California from Milwaukee. So we're going to have lots of stories to talk about after the break.
And we got to have lunch with him today.
Oh, yeah. So I know we've mentioned that we're going to do bar reviews. And what we're going to try to do is every time we have a guest lined up, we're going to have that guest meet us for lunch at the place that we're going to review. So we have a third party, so every time.
Somewhere cool that we can kind of.
Yeah, so
what was cool about Jason's interview today, it was his cousin's place, and I've been wondering about this.
We'll
spot.
Discuss that afterwards. Don't give too much away.
Yeah.
God damn it!
I don't know. It was good.
So after the break, we'll come back and we'll start with our first guest, Jason Lee, and so everyone stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Ayo, you got anything else before the break?
No, just give it a little word from our sponsors.
Okay, so so on the first half, our sponsor is Deco Lighting. So those of you who need solar lighting or solar racking, give Deco Lighting a chance, and they'll take care of you. All right, buddy, you ready?
All right, yeah. See you second half.
Okay. Okay, so I want to give one quick plug to one of our sponsors, one of our major sponsors, Deco Lighting. DECO Deco Lighting. For anything energy efficient upgrades and LEDs for commercial property, look no further than Deco Lighting. And you can find them at getdeco.com. 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 Energy efficient upgrades and LEDs. Look no further. Deco Lighting. Getdeco.com.
Woohoo to our sponsors.
Yeah. See you in a moment, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to Too Much to Handle. I'm very excited to welcome not only our first guest, but someone who's going to be probably like my most important guest because I've spent so much time with this guy and I have so much growing up with this guy. But for those of you who don't know, our first guest is none other than Jason Lee, who is not only security to many rock stars, personal security to many rock stars, and he's also an author of a book that he's writing right now. But again, Jason Lee, how you doing, my man?
Good, brother. How you doing, man?
Good. Thank you so much for being here with us. Anthony and I have talked about you for a long time, and for those of you who don't know, which obviously none of you know, Jason and I met each other back in 1989 when we were just little punk ass kids. And I hate to admit this on air, but I'm going to say it. I don't give a fuck. Jason and I met when we worked at Taco Bell.
There's Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
We worked at Taco Bell together.
And I
in
saw
El
a picture
Cajon.
today of
Yeah, I'm sure
them
you saw a
having.
photo.
They had some luscious long hair.
Oh,
That
we
stays
had.
between us, AO.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Actually, I don't think it was long hair. I think it was just mullets. Anyway,
Yeah, you
Jason
guys.
Lee, how you doing? Welcome to the show. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm home for a week and relaxing a bit, but good to be back with my homeboy Billy. So
Awesome. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate your time. I know you live a crazy lifestyle, being on the road and whatnot. But thanks for being here, and thanks for what I understand. You're gonna share some stories with us. But before we get into that, I just want to give a little history about Jason and I. Jason and I met each other in 1989 at Taco Bell. I'm going to be honest. We I don't know. Anthony is trying to get me to post a photo of
Let's
of
not do
Jason
that right
and I
now. Let's not do
when
that
we
right
were
now.
roommates back then. But we were roommates back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and we worked at Taco Bell together. But then after Taco Bell, we worked at a music store.
What else are you gonna do? How old were you?
Well, we were
teens still.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
so
18 years old.
18 years old, literally.
Yeah. So after Taco Bell,
So
we got a
there's
job
there's
working
no shame
at.
in that, all right?
No shame. We ended up opening the Sam Goody in Parkway Plaza in El Cajon, and we worked there for a while. We were still roommates, obviously, and
partying hard?
Right around that point in time, Jason started working security for Staff Pro,
Exactly.
the Yellow Jacket guys back in the day, and started working security. And from that point forward,
Is this before 21 or?
I was
Way
18
before we were
when I
21,
started doing
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
18, right out of high school.
yeah, we were puppies then. But I will say, as far as early history is concerned, he started with Staff Pro when he was 18, and he used to get us into concerts at Iguanas down in Tijuana all the time. But I don't want to take it away from him. I want to say, like, can you give us a little bio on how you started with the music security industry?
Yeah, I'm interested because I'm interested to know, like, what behind the scenes, what was it about? What did you like about it? Who hired you? Like, I mean,
I'm going
Yeah,
to
how
tell
did
you
it all
all
start?
that, AO. I'm going to tell you all that, brother. In high school, I had some friends that started doing security for Staff Pro. And once we graduated, they're like, oh, you need to come and do this. So I started doing it. I'm like, well, shit, I should start working and getting paid instead of paying to go to shows.
Right.
yep.
Which
of
is
course.
when, but at the same time, we started being roommates. And I was like, well, shit, what am I doing? This is like the perfect job. I can get paid to go do security for gigs instead of paying to go to see them.
Right.
And then the rest is fucking history. 30 years later, I'm still doing it.
So when you started with Staff Pro, what was your first gig? Like where did you start?
Well,
Like,
I'm kind of embarrassed in a way, but my first gig was in 1990. I did Paul Simon, which I'm
Where-
not embarrassed for him. I mean, he's a
no,
legend.
Paul Simon's the fucking legend.
But-
where was he playing?
This is the Sports Arena,
Okay.
which is the building in San Diego before Viejas, the amphitheater, all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
one building, but I was working outside in what they call the backstage area, the loading dock area, watching trucks. I'm like, this fucking blows. What the fuck am I doing watching trucks? But then
So-
a few months later, we had Iron Maiden, Anthrax, and they put me on the floor. I'm like, oh, dude, this is the fucking bomb. I found my calling.
Being on
Get the
being on the
tackle
floor?
people, knock people down.
So where all the mosh pits going on
yeah,
and everything?
yeah. I'm like,
So you
okay,
went-
this is what I wanted to do here.
So you went from watching Paul Simon's truck
It-
to being on the floor at Anthrax and Maiden.
exactly,
So that had to be a fucking like.
dude. That's like
fuck
fucking
yeah.
night and day. I'm going, okay,
This is
now
my
this is
calling.
what I got into this for. Was to knock the fucking piss out of people.
Oh, so
During a
that's
metal
what you,
concert.
is that what you got to do as a security guard?
Well,
Well,
in the
you-
early '90s, you can get away with doing that shit. Nowadays, you can't do that. Back then, you could knock people's teeth out, put them in headlocks, and nothing would happen.
Drag him out for
Where
being an
nowadays,
asshole.
you touch them, and it's like, oh, I'm suing you.
Yeah.
So back then,
So,
I
this
I
is
was
back
like,
when people were at a metal show acting like a total asshole.
Yeah.
You could put them in a chokehold, drag them out, and fuck them up if they
Exactly.
were not complying. And now it's a little different,
That's
obviously.
Yeah.
that's tough. I couldn't. Okay, not that I don't hate on the mosh pit. I know people go in there. You got to get your aggression out or what have you. But people go in there blind. They're like head down and
Yeah, but people don't know how to run a mosh pit. Like, I grew up in the punk rock scene, and so did Jason, so we know how to run a punk rock scene.
what do you mean by
Punk
that?
rock scene pit.
Yeah.
So if you're in a pit, like, dude, you can mosh around and fucking check people, but if somebody falls down, you
Yeah.
pick them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't-
it's
you don't
it's like
knock
a
people
family, a
down.
team environment where
it's
you
a-
help
it-
each other out. But you get, like Billy said, you get people in there. You clock somebody, but you pick them back up. But if you get these
Yeah,
guys
but
that,
you-
that
you-
clock
but you-
someone.
you clock people.
Well, but you don't hit them in the back. You hit them, like, people are, like, moshing. It's
people-
moshing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, people are moshing.
It's a dance. It's what it
And
is.
then-
It's a
and-
dance.
Ooh,
and then
I like that.
and then
Yeah.
once people are like once there's that one asshole who's like hitting people from behind
Yeah,
and
there's
knocking them
always-
down,
exactly,
then
there's always
everybody
one.
then
Yes.
everybody gets against that
Uh-huh.
guy and starts fucking taking cheap shots on him as well. So like
It-
you said, it's a family.
It comes back in
pits-
circle.
A good
It does.
pit,
It literally it does. Comes back in circle.
a good
Exactly.
pit has a family. So anyway,
Interesting.
So,
So
you worked.
so you like that environment?
So you did Anthrax and Maiden.
The Anthrax Maiden show kind of showed me the light and what I wanted to do, and then just hundreds of shows and years after that, working at the arena, going up to LA and stuff, and then later on I got to start doing touring and all that, and it was just like, wow.
Who's your
So
Biggest.
let me ask you this though. You worked at the sports arena for a long time. I know you were like head of security there for a minute. At what point in time did you think like, wow, what the fuck am I doing working for an arena when I can be working for bands themselves? Like, where did that transition take place?
Oh, so you went to work for bands?
Yeah, I don't know the exact time it transitioned, but over time, when you start doing shows and you start seeing bands coming through, you're like going, wow, I could go from working for the arena to actually working for the bands and, working for them, making more money, traveling around the world. So it kind of gets in your head after a while, and you're like, wow, I'd love to do that.
That's good. That's
But it's
good.
not
You-
that easy to get into.
I was just
I
gonna say,
know, but
so
you
what was
love
your
it. That's cool.
what was your
like it.
break into working San Diego scene into like being a personal? Did you start your own business doing it?
Yeah.
It's one thing when you start doing local stuff, guys come through and they notice what you're doing. They say, okay, this guy, when I come to San Diego, he does a great job. He works his ass off, doesn't fucking complain, nothing. When I come through next time, I'm going to remember him. So it's about networking. That's a key word, is networking.
Keeping strong
Doesn't
character.
matter what the fuck you've done, how big you are, how much steroids you fucking taken, how many asses you fucking kicked.
Oh, so when a like a band or a band manager sees how efficient you are at a certain arena, when they come back to that arena, like they know they can
So you
rely
got, like,
on you.
you got,
That-
like-
Exactly.
that
You
kind
got
of thing.
recruited, huh? Someone poached you, saying, "Hey, I want you."
Exactly.
And
So
who wants you? Who wanted you? What band did you go with?
dude, everybody wanted me, motherfucker. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, but seriously, like
No,
what
seriously,
band
but-
Who was the
first?
first one?
Who was the first band that pulled you away from?
It wasn't a band; it was an individual.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I had a buddy of mine who I had spoken to and networked with, and said, you know, if you want to tour, let me know. It got to a point where I was done with the arena. I was done with staff. Where I'm like, I need to fucking find something different.
Right.
So I called him. He's like, "This is perfect timing. I got
I
a
like
tour
it.
for you coming up."
I like it.
2004. It wasn't the greatest tour. It was American Idol.
So that
Still,
was
bro.
I'm
actually
like-
a good tour.
I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it. It's a tour, right? It gets my foot in the door.
right.
So 2004, I started doing my first tour. Which
And
was
you
a
got hired
fucking-
as what, a security manager?
This is
or-
personal security for the idols.
Okay.
What happens is every season of the American Idols, the top 10 go out on a world tour, and they hire security and tour management and everything that go along with
They
them.
got to
Oh,
have
so
it.
you
That's just-
protected these top 10 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that was back in 2004?
Yeah, which was with
Wow, that
American
was one
Idol.
of the first
This is
years,
the
right?
Third Idol,
year?
which was won by Fantasia,
Ooh,
Oh,
which she was a
shit, I don't
fucking
even-
sweetheart, by the way.
that's cool,
Okay.
bro.
But I'll get into some details later. But yeah, it was a fucking nightmare.
All of them.
It was a nightmare, like
It was a
the
fucking
tour,
nightmare. Yeah.
as opposed to working at the sports
Yeah.
arena here in San
And
Diego.
I'll tell you why. Because, you know, most tours you go on, the artists know what's going on. They know the schedules, this and that, where with the idols, they've never toured before.
correct. Yeah, that makes sense.
So you do what we call lobby call at the hotels.
hmm
It's like you do emails. We're meeting in the lobby at this time to go to the venue. But half of them would never fucking show up.
So they didn't follow protocol.
No, it's like you're babysitting these fucking
Oh,
kids.
okay.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, because most
Hey, you might
most
as
of
well
them
go-
are like kind of unprofessional.
They've
so to
never
speak.
done this before. They're brand new to
Hey,
the industry.
at least he went off and he learned off the first, his first one. That's you get. At least it didn't start out like all roses and stuff. You know
Exactly.
You learned.
Yeah, I had to start at the bottom, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was still a pretty
I
predominant.
was like-
But now he could
but
do anything else. He like I
But
can manage.
well,
at
let's-
the
let's-
beginning, I was like,
Let's
"Is
get
this
to
what
that.
fucking touring life is like? I don't fucking like
Oh,
this shit."
just-
So,
Scourged
so
you.
this is how you were feeling then, like
Yeah,
with
I
these
mean,
first
I'm literally
10
babysitting the
contestants?
kids, their families. I'm going, "This is fucking stupid. What am I doing? What did I sign up for?"
Okay, so where to go from there?
So I did that tour, and then next year I called my guy and said, "I got to find something else. I can't do this shit anymore."
I like how you stayed with it. You didn't give up.
So
oh, Jason's not a quitter. I know.
it goes from the bottom. And in 2005, I got the tour for Green Day, which is on the American Idiot Tour, which is by far the biggest tour of the world at that time.
It was. I remember.
So I'm going, okay,
So
now we're off and running.
what was
Nice.
your position on that tour?
I was doing personal for Mike, the bass player,
Okay, so
That's
that's
the
when
shit.
your
which Mike was a
personal
great fucking
security
guy.
guard started.
Trey, Billy Joe were great guys. I mean, very professional. I was like, okay, now I know. And I'll get into a story about Green Day earlier in '94, which I wanted to fucking kill them all. But
So did you before?
Well, let's let.
I want to know if he's a fan of these people, like American Idol and Green Day. Are you a big fan?
American Idol, no.
No.
Who's a fucking fan of American Idol besides Simon Cowell? But Green Day, yes, I always was. I mean,
Okay.
Green Day's been from the early '90s. We used to fucking mosh out to them because they were a punk
Okay.
band.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I didn't know because I know he's like Slayer and all this, and he took me to Weezer a couple weeks ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Why would you?
to say that.
How dare you?
But
How
Green-
dare you disrespect
but-
the mighty Wheeze? How dare you? Fuck you.
But Green Day's kind of like
Do not
regard what he's
talking about, people.
they're punk. They're kind of the stereotype as punk rock, but pop. So
But not only that, but they're one of the biggest bands in the world.
they are.
Well,
You know, and at that time they were
And
at
a-
their peak. I mean,
and a
American
three-piece.
Idiot.
A three-piece.
Yes, American
Yeah.
Idiot was their biggest time of their lives.
Is
Okay,
it-
so you
was it
jumped.
that
So
album?
that was what you jumped on next.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, and we were selling at stadiums in the U.S. and Europe. I
How do
went
you-
from
Oh,
American
God,
Idol
they
to
were
this. I'm
huge.
going, holy
How
fuck.
do you
they were huge.
manage
Today. You went
that?
to the big time.
Yeah.
Overnight.
See, boom.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I didn't fit in their culture. You know, I was a typical white guy. There are people in there already. I was a new guy coming in. And, I was
And
like,
you were
yeah,
a personal security guard for Mike,
the bass
the
player.
bass
yeah.
player.
Which he was a nice guy. I love him to death. I still talk to him every once in a while nowadays.
Okay.
But as you find in this industry, you're going to be great at your fucking job and with this greatest band in the world, but if it's not the same culture, you're not going to work.
Yes, I like
So-
that. Culture
okay.
is important.
Okay, so that was back then. So after Green Day, what was the next big jump?
So I had absolutely nothing for the longest time. So I actually moved to Vegas, worked at an arena in Vegas for a while, got bored of that. Then My Chemical Romance, who opened for Green Day in 05, was coming out with The Black Parade, which is another gigantic album.
Yeah, they killed it with that one.
They called me and said, "Do you want to do security for us?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck,
oh,
why
so
not?"
they hit you up. So they had met you on the Green Day tour?
Yeah, they opened up for
Okay.
Green Day, and they knew me
Right,
from
so
then
they
on
knew
out.
you from then. Okay, cool. So you did My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, for 2 years.
That means you're a
and
stand-up
Oh,
guy.
I remember he did that. Yeah, you're right. 2 years. I remember
Yeah.
like that was your
06,
shit for a couple
07.
years.
That's awesome.
we went all over the world. You know, the U.S., South America.
06, 07, all around the world.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was like
No, but
12 years
still.
ago. AO, just so you know.
Oh,
Yeah, what year was that?
That was
Like-
06, 07.
06, 07? Fuck, that was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
thanks for giving us
So-
perspective.
Yeah, we went to Japan, Australia,
Time flies by
Europe,
when you're having fun.
South America. We went everywhere. It was a fucking nightmare, dude.
Oh, you didn't like it?
Nightmare?
Because I was asking
Again,
about
a
your. I was
nightmare?
asking about your rings. This one's from.
So hang on. So this
So the
one
thing
still
was,
a
I mean,
nightmare?
this was the manager was like, okay, these guys, they just started to hit it big. We're gonna fucking hammer it to them. So we did 5-6 shows a week for
People
like
pushing-
months in a row. I mean, we were
People
out on the
pushing,
road.
yeah.
We were on the road for literally 6 months straight without coming home.
Holy shit.
And
That's a
by the
long
end of that,
tour.
we were ready to kill each other.
Right.
I mean, between us, the crew, the band, we all wanted to kill each other. I was like, we're fucking done. Everybody's on fucking drugs. Everybody's drinking.
Just everyone's over it.
Yeah, I mean, band members are being sent home because they're fucking on drugs. I mean, this is what led me to believe this industry is a fucking killer. It's poison,
Okay,
dude.
so,
It
okay.
really is.
Could I ask you a question? That because
One question. That's all you get, brother.
Okay.
That's all you get.
Do you feel like people could learn from all? It does crush you, just like the.
It
I
does.
mean,
It really
movie-
does.
But could people still live a productive life and still be great musicians? Because are we too? Or do people get like how Pink Floyd said? Get locked up in a cage. Is that what happens when
Okay,
you?
I'm sure he's
you're telling me Pink Floyd was not on chemicals when they record all their records?
I hear what you're saying. So
There you go.
okay.
But I guess getting back to what he said, like the meaning of what he's saying is like, have you worked with bands that were not all fucked up all the time and like
I
were
have.
meaningful and got through?
And that's all about surrounding yourself with good people,
Correct. Yes.
people that are clean, on the same wavelength as you, because you could be fucking Bono and you too, but if all your friends are fucking drug addicts, you're gonna become a drug addict, right?
No, you're fucking right. So I'm glad you're
So you
pointing
gotta
out this.
you gotta surround yourself with good people, which I'll lead. One example is Miley Cyrus, who I was with in 2014.
Uh-huh.
One of the most amazing fucking people I've ever worked with. I love this girl.
No shit.
She went from Hannah Montana
I love her too.
to Bangers and was like, oh, she's a fucking problem child. I was
Yeah.
like, no, she wanted to get her from the fucking Disney shit. Give her a break. I knew her. I traveled with her for a fucking year.
You were her personal security guard for a
I
year?
did venue for her.
You did venue for
Yeah,
her.
but I knew
So you
her-
made sure, like every venue you guys went to,
Yeah.
you checked in with the security at the local venue.
Provided all this,
Especially
all the
when
venue
you're passionate,
security.
they know how like you care about them.
Yeah,
she
but I knew her manager, her mom, her family. I mean, her brother and sister hung around me all the time. But it's one of those things where if you want to stay sober, you want to live a certain lifestyle, you have these people around you. And if
So
you
you
have
gotta
you have the same people around you that are on the same wavelength as you, you'll be able to do it.
That's
but if
what
not, you're not going to be able to do it.
So
I
being
guarantee it.
surrounded by good people is what a
That's-
lot of
Exactly.
these people get through by.
Because otherwise, like I will tell you in my book I'm writing, people in this industry either survive off alcohol, off drugs, prescriptions, depression, loneliness will fucking kill you.
Or mere
Okay.
determination, like which is
Yeah.
probably
And
few.
we're gonna tell them about how to be good. You know, we're
And about being good is surrounding yourself with the good people.
yes,
Well,
I agree.
one thing I want to ask you, like 29 years later, like I have a
Which
list.
you've been with me since day one, by the way.
Exactly. I have a list of band names that you've worked with, and I want you to add to them because I know I don't have all of
Oh,
them.
great.
But I have no. So, humor me. But I have Muse, Mary J. Blige, Red Hot Chili Peppers,
I want to know about them.
Tool, Kiss, My Chemical Romance, Demi Lovato.
Yeah, I heard too.
I think that's where I'm at right now.
So who do you want to hear first?
Chili Peppers.
Well, you could actually.
You start with Muse, right?
I started with Muse. I know
Okay,
that was a
let-
big
let-
one for
let's
you.
go
I
with
know. I
Muse.
know you spoke highly of them.
Yes, Muse. I fucking love these guys.
They're
But
like serious.
When I
no-nonsense.
started with My Chemical Romance, they opened for us in the States, which back then in 07, Muse wasn't that big.
right,
They're a British band.
right. They
But
only
it-
had
it
like
was-
what, one hit here at the time.
Yeah, but it was comical because they opened for us in the States, but then
What
later
do you
on
mean
that
open
year,
for us? Who you referring to as
My
us?
Chemical Romance.
Oh, Muse opened up for My
Yeah.
Chemical Romance. Okay.
So
Sorry.
then later on that year, My Chemical Romance opened for Muse in Wembley Stadium in London.
In London, no
Wow.
shit.
So it was a total fucking
Just
turnaround.
a transformation.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird how it takes like one hit song and then all of a sudden someone's
Yeah.
bigger than fucking God?
But Muse has
And then-
been huge in Europe, especially in London. So when they were with us in the States, they weren't so big yet.
Right.
But now they're like one of the biggest bands in the world.
Wow, that's a trip.
But it was crazy to see that transformation.
Especially before they were big and you were there.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
when you're there, you kind of see this transformation.
Yeah.
And I was there
You've
when
seen probably a lot of transformations, whether it's up or down. That's
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, it was insane. I mean, these guys were great. They treat me like family.
They're all
Well, I know-
But then when the next record came out, they were larger than life. I mean, we're selling arenas around, the U.S.
So were they the funnest or
No.
Green Day? Who?
No, I'll get to that in a minute. But Muse were wonderful. I mean, Matt, the singer, was engaged to Kate Hudson, the actress,
Wow.
Mhm.
who I actually introduced them at Coachella in 2011, which was, Kate and I had a laugh about that. But
you introduced the two of them?
yeah, she came to the show, came
Are
to
they-
the back gate and asked where Matt Bellamy's
you
dressing room
introduced
was.
Kate Hudson to him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And my security I brought over and said, "Oh, she's looking for Matt," and I'm like, "Oh, his dressing room's over here." Next thing you know, they're dating. They got a kid together.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So regarding like all the bands I mentioned, I'm not gonna go through all of them and like ask you your opinion on them, but I will say that I've been a part of being at a concert with Tool, and I know you worked.
Ooh.
I know you worked Tool on at least 2 or 3 tours.
I was with them for 4 years, actually.
Okay, so 4 tours.
4 years, but not 4
Okay,
tours. But I was
okay.
employed from 2014 to 2017.
Okay, so at least a couple of tours.
Yeah,
'Cause
we did
I
like 5 or
remember
6
a couple.
tours, but they were short.
Oh, okay. I will say that I was privileged to meet Adam, the guitar player, through you.
Who I
which-
worked for directly.
Correct. Jason was Adam's personal security guard on the tour that I met him on, and that was fucking amazing.
That's
It
cool
was
that
my
you met
birthday
him.
present.
Where'd you meet him at?
It was my birthday present from Jason. My wife and I got to go to Glen Ellen Theater in San Bernardino.
Yep. I've been there. Love
We got to see Tool, Primus, Melvins, Clutch. I mean,
Which is a big festival. It was Tool's show, but it ended up being a big festival.
yeah, it was amazing. Tool was, I think, Tool headlined obviously.
Yeah.
But after the show, we got to meet
Greg
Adam
Maynard.
personally, and Jason took us on the tour bus. And
So you were for Tool. You're the tour manager.
No, I did security for Adam.
he was Adam,
The
the
guitar
guitar
player.
player's personal security guard.
So Greg Maynard, you have an inside to him. I watched some stuff on that. That guy's an interesting character.
And those guys have been around for so many years, and you've seen them evolve. And for me just to work with them, it's like, oh my god, these guys are like legends.
Legends.
And for them to be so down to earth and so cool, I was like, wow, it's almost like, really, they're like human beings like we are, which a lot of people don't realize.
That's what's so weird.
They're,
Is
they're
like
so
I
full
can't
of
even
shit
imagine.
like we are. It's like people don't think about that. It's like, oh, they make music. They're larger than life. It's like,
Because
No.
they're following their passions.
yeah, that's their job. Like our job is to work at McDonald's or wherever,
Yeah.
or Taco Bell.
That's where you guys.
30 years ago.
And
It's like, touring with
ladies-
Adam, he's like the most down to earth fucking guy. He likes to draw, likes to play video games. But
Yeah, it's
he
weird,
creates
like-
some of the most amazing music in the world.
You have this mental like picture of people in your head, especially when it's like musicians that you look up to, and then to be around them and to work with them, like I can't even imagine. Like especially with Tool, like that's like I obviously I have been following them since
Yeah.
the early 90s when Opiate came out. So for you to be able to work in with them. But I will say, I'm going to stop this right now because of all the people, of all the bands that you could work for. And I will preface this by saying that Jason and I and another buddy of ours grew up idolizing one band when we were little kids. And for Jason to finally work as a personal security guard for two of the band members of this band,
No way.
Jason worked for Kiss. I'm going to drop it right there.
Those were my idols,
Jason-
and Billy knew
Okay.
this. I mean, when
Jason
we were
worked
roommates,
for Kiss.
my room was plastered with their posters.
We had Kiss everything.
I bartended with a guy that had your passion. Man, you guys are passionate people. Like Trekkies,
Well,
and Star Wars
we're
people.
we're 47. We're Kiss guys.
But I never got it, to be honest with you. I'm
Well,
not.
because you don't know good music. You listen to 311.
You're too busy on Match.com to
'cause
realize what we're
you're,
doing over here.
So you're saying it's good music too, not just.
You're telling me Kiss isn't good music?
You've heard of Kiss, right?
no, sorry about that.
One of the greatest bands ever.
I thought it's just the persona, the show they're putting on. I didn't know the music
Well,
was
that's
good.
part
No,
of
no,
it, but
no,
the
no.
music is
That's
good, too.
311.
No.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Yeah. No, okay, that's.
No, but
so
he
that's
went.
your-
what-
that's
But
your
he got to
favorite
work
band?
for Kiss.
No, I know they're the greatest.
Anthony,
They're legends.
that it's like he got to meet and be
Gene
personal
Simmons.
security guard for someone that we idolized since we were 8 years old. Do you know what that's? Can you even
Yeah.
imagine what that's like? I can't. Like,
It's one
Take it
thing
away.
to work in the industry for so many years, but my final tour and my final year, ironically, was with my childhood idols. I mean, everybody says, "Oh, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, they're assholes. Fuck them. Fuck this." And it's like
nah.
they were two of the nicest fucking guys I ever worked for
so
in my
that,
life.
was that the best culture you had? You said the first one was
No. Kiss is by far the best band I ever worked for.
nice.
And
I
to
re-
end my career with my idols, it couldn't have ended any
Yeah,
more better
that's
than that.
that's
Yeah.
right off in the sunset. I remember having lunch with Jason after he did 6 months of one Kiss tour before he was going to take off with the second leg, and including the Kiss
Mm-hmm.
cruise. He had a silver bracelet on his wrist, and I saw him
Which
like
I have it
moving
on right now.
Oh shit, there it is right there. And he was like, "Oh, check that out, man." I'm like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" He goes, "Oh, I was chilling with Gene, and Gene saw that I had silver rings on. He's like, "Oh, I got something for you. You like this?" And Gene Simmons gave him this fucking bracelet. Like,
Yeah.
how? Like, I'm sorry, I grew up idolizing Kiss, and if Gene fucking
I-
Simmons gives me a
he's-
bracelet, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, that is the coolest thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
would
other
feel
than
blessed.
Yeah.
Bart Starr giving me a football,
I hear what you're saying.
like, that is the coolest thing that could ever happen to
I
me.
hear what
I
you're
don't know.
saying. I hear what you're saying.
Like, how do you top that?
You can't top that at
No.
all.
No, you got the.
You
got
can't.
the-
I mean, these guys treat me like family. I mean, Paul and Gene, and even Doc McGee, the manager, who's legendary in this business.
Dude, Doc McGee's OG.
He fucking started the Scorpions, Skid Row, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue. He brought all these guys into the game, and he treated me like I was family from day one, even though I came in late in the thing.
Did you party hard?
No, I never did. That's why I survived in this
I was
shit.
just going to say that's
Oh.
what kept him afloat in this, because I will say this for Jason. We may get after it on our personal time, but this man, it like follows the same
Like-
work ethic I do.
Like a military
When you
code.
when you're at work, you fucking work hard,
Yeah.
I love it.
and that's it. And this guy's worked hard his whole career. Like, I remember back when he was in the Staff Pro Yellow Jackets, and we would try to make fun of him, and he was like, "Fuck you!" Like,
Yeah. This is my shit.
he was not having it. Like, he took his shit seriously way back then, and
I
that's
love
why
it. That's the
he-
shit, man.
he's had the success that he's had. So I got nothing but respect. for
I
him.
survived because of that. I followed my philosophy. I took care of my clients, and that's why they brought me along, because
You,
I was
you
no
stayed with
bullshit.
protocol, and
Yeah.
and like I know it. Like even my
that's
25 years of
strong.
bartending and like running bars
You
and
do a
seeing
good
how
job.
and being able to scan a bar, like you do the same thing. I protect the people sitting at the bar. You protect the people that are on the stage and everyone around them.
Exactly.
So it's actually a kind of a comparable business, and I take it very seriously. Like, I don't fuck around. I never let kids in with no IDs and blah blah. I was never flexible like that, and I know for a fact Jason wasn't having anyone backstage without a fucking pass or without a fucking ticket. So
So you mentioned a book. Talk about it before we get.
Well, I always told myself I'm going to write a book before my career is over. My career ended 29 years in the music industry, and I'm now full-time with the UFC, but we're not going to get into that. But my 29 years in the music industry is now going to be put in a book.
that's awesome. I can't wait to read it.
It's not to get anyone in trouble or anything, but it's just to tell everyone how the music industry really is. It's poisonous. You either really love it, you really fucking hate it. I'm going to be very blunt with you about it.
I think everyone knows the rock industry has always been that
Oh
way.
yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I
it's
still feel
gnarly.
like
whether you're a musician or a groupie,
I'm a
or,
singer, and I feel like I'm a learning process. I feel I have a vision, just how you envision that. I have to know these shit. I need to know
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm gonna.
I mean, I've seen people die in this industry. Unfortunately, there's a lot of chemical dependency, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or
is it
prescription meds. I mean, it's a lonely, fucked up fucking place.
Is
What
it-
about
is
the
it
marijuana?
From the, is
Marijuana's
it from
good,
the
right?
touring? Shut up with the marijuana. No one's got a fucking marijuana.
Yeah, marijuana
problem.
is also included, but it's
But
not.
like on tour, what's the biggest thing? Like, I'm not asking you what the biggest dependency is. I'm just saying is the tour the biggest problem for guys,
Ooh, the tour.
It's
or
just,
is it like being away from family and
it's a
stuff?
little bit of everything, but it's a very, very lonely place. I mean, you could be on tour with 500 fucking people, 500 crew members, but you could also be in the loneliest
And
fucking
still
place
feel
you've
isolated,
ever
yeah.
been in. I've been there. I've been hooked on drugs and alcohol. I nearly I wanted to kill myself when I was out there. I got out and I survived. I can say, okay, I survived this shit,
Good.
which is why I want to write about it, because it's been proven. I've done my research. It's one of the highest industries with the highest suicide rate,
Oh,
So
totally.
You make me.
but
not
also
wanna
one
be
of the
in it.
highest of the chemical dependencies.
No, for sure.
I've had my own crew members die when I was out with them, going, "What the fuck is going on here?"
I agree. I have a couple guitarists that love the alcohol. No.
It's
I love the
alcohol.
alcohol.
It's cocaine. It's
No, it's-
Xanax.
yeah,
I
no,
mean, it's
it's-
whatever it is. I mean,
It
it sucks to see that.
It's a mix.
But
we
it's-
were in the
it's
bar
true.
industry.
And I hate to blend into that, but no, you're absolutely right, Jason.
Yeah.
It's not obviously it's not marijuana, it's not smoking weed,
It's way
drinking
beyond
and
any of that.
and heroin and cocaine and barbiturates, pills and stuff. I'm not gonna touch on Demi Lovato with you because it was after your time with her, but I know you did work with her for a long time.
Yep.
And I remember you telling me how fucking amazing she is. So was it not kind of a shock for you to hear about her kind of relapse or whatever it was?
It,
Talking
it
about
was
all
a
this-
real big shock, and it was a bummer because I love that girl. She was an absolute fucking sweetheart. But I had it in my head during the tour I was with her that she was struggling. You could tell
Struggling with what? Like,
Just,
I had
just
never
coping
known
with
that
it.
she was like I don't know, like dependent on any kind of.
Well, I'd heard
Any
about
kind of
it.
drug.
When I came on board, they're like, she's a recovering drug addict, this and that. I mean, they made us aware of it because they wanted to say, okay,
Right.
here's what she's dealing with. Here's her past. So I knew what she had done before. But I could see every day when she came in, you could just see something was not right. And that's my opinion.
No, of course.
You
Like
know,
I've seen her on.
I'm not a doctor or anything, but
No.
but every day she came in, she greeted me. She said, "Hello, how are you?" I mean,
You
she was a
told me-
sweetheart.
You told
But
me
I could tell something was off.
you told me that she was absolutely wonderful with
Yes,
you every
and
day.
it really,
you were
I
around her.
literally was in tears
And every time
when
I
I
saw
heard
her,
what happened to her.
Yeah, every time I saw her on TV or any kind of interview, any kind of thing, like she was always like her laugh is almost like
Contagious.
it's contagious.
Exactly.
Thank you,
Ao,
thank
thank
you,
you.
Ao.
Yeah.
Her laugh was contagious and inspiring almost. You know what I mean? Like I saw her do like surprise visits to fans. Like I've watched them on YouTube, and
Yeah.
I was always like, "Wow, you're really cool, man!" Like, and because she takes it to another level, like her laugh and her whole demeanor is, like you said, it's contagious. Like I really had, I mean, I have a lot of respect for her. So again, I'm not
that's
going
a
to bring
prime
up
ex-
because I
that's
know
a
you
prime
don't know.
example of how bad the music industry is. I mean, this girl is the most amazing woman on earth, but she struggles every day.
And you never know it by seeing.
No, if you didn't know her history, you would never know.
I think people struggle whether they're in the industry or not. There's people out there just outside.
Well,
yeah, but I mean,
clearly,
it's a
but-
matter of that's my whole biggest thing.
Goes
Is
through
I
who
want
you
to make
surround
people
yourself.
aware of
Yeah.
that there's a bigger thing out there besides music.
Well,
There's a bigger
let's-
thing besides being popular, being a celebrity.
Yep.
It goes way fucking beyond that, and people don't realize that.
I'm
let's
looking
lighten
forward
it
to
up.
hearing about
Hang
it.
on, let's lighten it up because I know just as much as of a downer we've been talking about with a couple of people.
I feel like crying right now, just
I
so you know.
Okay, we're not gonna go there.
Demi is I love that girl. Now I feel like crying right now.
Okay, so you gotta fess up. You gotta give me something. You gotta give me some embarrassing stories. You gotta tell me something funny. Like I know you have something from your past. I know you do, because you've told me shit, and I'm not gonna be the one to share it. But you gotta tell me there hasn't been. You haven't had some kind of fun and some kind of quirky thing that's
dude,
happened
come on.
on
Yes,
tour.
I have had fun.
Okay, well,
I've had my share of women on the road.
okay.
I mean, come on, who hasn't? I mean, the thing is, when you're doing security for the biggest bands in the world,
Your access.
who's
to
not gonna want to get in your fucking pants, right?
Okay, so
That's
let
like
me
a
ask
better
you
than
then:
a bartender position.
My beer's empty, by the way, just so you know.
Are girls hitting you up like at the stage, or are they hitting you up
It's
backstage, or are they
everywhere.
hitting you up on the way out to the tour buses? Like, where are you getting hit up the most?
All those and the hotel and the airport. I mean,
How
anywhere
do
you-
these girls know where the hotel is?
dude? People fucking find out, dude. Every fan
Internet's
knows
a
where the-
bitch, right?
Yeah, social media, and even before
Social media, like the groupies can find out what
Yeah.
hotel you're in right away.
I mean, back in
Like how
04
soon? Like when you guys check into a hotel, how soon before groupies are there?
dude? It's even been before that.
Oh, so they're already there.
I mean, we've been to when I was with
Believe
My
that,
Chemical
Am?
Romance. We
No, I
we'd
heard
show up at the
stories.
airport in Australia, New Zealand, Japan. The fans would be at the fucking airport at our gate, and we're like, "How the fuck did you find this out?" I mean, they're very nice people, but it's like, how the fuck do you know what gate we were landing at?
This
And they
sounds
follow us, and the hotel's got 100
That's how it
people
was when the
waiting.
Navy.
this
Australians love
sounds kind of
Americans.
like when AO and I flew to Los Angeles, and we walked off the plane and out into the gate. Fuck, I've never seen more AO signs in my life. Like
AO's a
bitches were
fucking
like,
celebrity, man. He's the man.
AO, we love you, AO. And all these like hot little girls are like, AO, you're the fucking man. And I'm like, wow, I couldn't feel more like an older, gray-haired
Yeah,
man in my
exactly.
life than when I got off the plane in
We're
LA.
old compared to AO. You know that, man.
And then all these bitches are like, AO, AO.
You're
And
like,
they're
what about
yelling,
Billy? What about
"AO."
Billy?
And
Fuck
I'm like,
AO.
how
What
did
about
you
Billy?
get past the security gate? Like, fuck, these bitches
Yeah, I
had
mean-
signs and shit.
I
So
mean,
I
it-
guess
it
I
was-
understand
It was
what it's
insane. I
like.
mean, you show up at the airport and you come off the plane, and there's 50 fucking fans already right there in your face. You're going,
Yep,
how the
that's
fuck did you know where the hell we were? And you get
Yep.
to the hotel,
I
and there's a few hundred more fans there, and
I
you're in a
know.
foreign country. I mean, you're
Living
in
the
Japan.
dream. Living the dream.
no,
And, I mean, but it became, later on, when you've been in the band for a long time, you become kind
Part
of like
of
a
'em.
celebrity, an extension of them. And you become,
You do.
you get your own fan club at the same time.
Right. I
which is
remember one
kinda
time.
cool.
I remember one time. Ao and I landed in Prague, and we got off the airplane, and I don't know if you know about Prague girls. But
I know Prague, yes.
Prague girls
I
are
love
down and
Prague.
dirty, and these girls were like lined up at the Prague airport, like man, they wanted some AO, and I was like, damn, what about Billy the Kid? They were like, nah, G, you're married. We want the single guy AO. And this guy fucking swarmed up. I swear he had a fucking gangbang that night while I was sitting
What's
in my
up,
fucking
AO?
hotel.
Come on, tell us about that. What's up
I
with your
sat in my
gangbang in
hotel
Prague?
alone while AO had all these hot
Is that
Prague
why you're
girls.
itching down there, man?
I like who doesn't like Czech girls? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
come on.
he's still like I still try to get info out of him from that trip, but he's still
Look,
like
look at him. Look
like
at him. He's
he
like
doesn't
going,
want to talk about it because
yeah.
it's like
That was 2016. That's why.
like he doesn't
That's
even
so 2016, right? That's like 3 years
like
ago.
he doesn't
Shit.
even like he looks at me like you won't believe it, bro.
Yeah,
And I've been there before, so I guess I would believe it, but I guess I don't believe it.
I wouldn't.
So anyway, so Jason, let me ask you. So when you're on tour with these bands, like what band did you work with where groupie girls were like on your dick the most? Like what band? Like can you say that? Is that okay to talk about?
Well, there's a few of them.
Okay, so I know Kiss. You had to be a
Actually,
fucking
Kiss
legend.
was not.
Really?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, dude, when I was with them last year, they were way beyond their time. They're married.
Yeah, but okay.
You get the hardcore male fans like us.
Yeah,
that
that's a
come in
good
to get
point.
autographs,
That's a good
but
point.
there was not
Good point.
women waiting for them.
Okay, so give me your. I tell you what. Give me your top three. Give me your top three bands that you, hypothetically, allegedly, could have got laid from.
Or did.
Allegedly.
I
Okay.
gotta imagine
I'm not.
Demi
I'm not trying to
Lovato.
sell you out. I'm just telling me, or I'm telling you actually. Tell me the top three artists you work with that you could have got laid. Boom. Like snapping a finger. Boom.
Is this being recorded?
You just realized?
Number one
We got you.
Okay.
Would
number
be the
one,
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's why I want to know about them.
all day.
Number
all
two would
day.
be Green Day.
Okay.
Number three would either be Muse or My Chemical Romance.
Okay. So
sense.
number.
I got laid more times than I could fucking imagine by those three bands alone.
Okay. So number one was Chili Peppers.
Yes.
So
Green Day was number two.
you were on tour with Chili Peppers for what? couple
2011, 2012.
years? Okay. So how did it work though? I just want to know. Like, was it because chicks were like, "Oh, can I get on the tour bus, or can I meet them,
Yeah,
or like,
'cause
how
It's
did
just,
you?
you know,
How does it work?
when you get fans and they find out you're close to the band and they want to get close to them, they're like, well, I can't get to the band members, but if I get to the security guards, that's like the next best thing.
So banging you is like banging Anthony Kiedis to some of
That's like the
them?
next
Is that-
best thing, yes.
Is that what
Yeah.
it is? So you
I
never.
got laid more on the Chili Peppers tour than any
Well,
other
so
one.
you
wait,
never
with.
promised
No,
them
we're-
meeting any of the
No,
band members,
no,
right?
no.
They knew going in that they were just banging the personal security
Yeah.
guard.
Was it 30s or were the average? Was the average ladies' age?
Probably anywhere between the 20s and 40s. I mean, it
That's
was
a good
wide
question,
range.
Ao. That's a good question, Ao.
But I mean,
What's
nothing
the
was ever
average age?
promised. But it's like, someone might be like, okay, I'll get you tickets to the show.
Exactly.
But I would never promise them anything with the band members.
But
I mean,
there was okay. So like
That's
Ao,
kind of how I got to
so
be.
Ao was saying like 20 to 40. There was. Let me ask you this: there's still 40-year-old women that will go to a concert and hang out backstage
Yes, sir.
and fuck a security guard
oh, yeah.
in the hopes of getting a backstage pass.
dude, I got some stories to tell you. This is nothing. Wait till
No,
the book
so
comes out.
I'm just saying, like
But
that is
yes.
accurate. Is
Yeah.
that accurate?
I mean, the Peppers have been around a long time. Their
That's fine.
fans are
but
a
there's
wide range of age.
But there's 40-year-old women.
Yes. Believe it
who
or not,
will-
yes,
who
there
will
is.
fuck a security guard.
There's 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
And 40
And
up.
there's probably 6-year-olds.
And yeah, in a way you think about it, it's kind of sexy in a way, but in another way, it's like this is fucking
almost
sad.
kind of
it's like-
really.
yeah.
You're
give it up,
you're in
buddy.
your 40s,
Isn't it crazy how
coming to a
age-
show trying to get laid by a fucking band member.
So when do we expire? Are we expiring pretty soon?
Ao,
Not-
you never expire, brother.
No, AO.
I'm still
AO
looking up to you, man.
I'm
Thank
not-
you, Jason.
I'm not-
AO, you don't expire.
You're
the
our
fucking
idol,
man.
just so you know.
You're the grand
the
poobah.
the American
You are
Idol?
the grand poobah. You are the.
But I'll
Shriner.
tell you one thing. I'm not going to give any more away because of my book, but on my American Idol tour, 2004. Okay, this is American Idol. This is not
Right.
fucking Green Day or any big band.
And this is in the. How many years into American Idol was it?
This is probably about
Like the
2 months into the tour.
I know, but how many years had American
is the
Idol
third
been
year.
out? Third year? Okay.
Yeah.
So third year of
We were in a
American Idol.
hotel. I think it was in fucking Albany, New York or somewhere. I get the idols in the hotel. I come back down to the lobby, and there's lots of fans everywhere. This lady comes up to me, and she's fucking beautiful. It's like, oh, hello. She's like, I want to meet so-and-so. I'm not going to name the name because they'll
That's
get me in
fine.
trouble.
Yeah, right.
But I'm like, well, he's up in his room. What would it take to get him to come down here? I'm like, ma'am, he's in his room. Sorry. It's like, I'm going to offer you me and my daughter together to bring him down here to meet him. I'm going.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm like, what the
does that
fuck is
mean?
wrong with you?
Oh.
I'm looking at her daughter. Her daughter must be probably 15, 16 years old. I'm
No
like,
way.
what the fuck
No
is wrong with? I'm
way.
just guessing. She might.
So
might-
she wasn't over 18.
Well, my
probably.
guess is she wasn't.
Okay.
But I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like grilling her, going,
What's wrong with
I'm
you?
gonna give you tickets to this show, but don't you ever fucking degrade your daughter like that ever again.
Good job, bro.
I
Wow,
said, what
what
the
a-
fuck is wrong with you?
What a piece of shit. I'm surprised you gave her tickets at all and not just
Well, that was more
berated her.
to give her, get her out of my
incentive
face. But
to,
I'm like,
oh, okay.
are you really that low where you're gonna offer you and your fucking daughter to meet someone from American Idol?
Isn't that crazy? That's probably going
Oh,
on. Like,
God.
And that
Every
goes on all
city
the
right now,
fucking
yeah.
time with every band in every city.
Nah,
And it's
with,
really fucking
but with
sad.
minors though.
I don't know
don't
if
say
she was
that
or
to
not.
me,
I'm
like,
just
I don't-
guessing she looked like she was under 18, but I don't know.
Well, you never
That's
know.
my opinion.
What city were you in?
Probably fucking Albany, New York, somewhere. Some
Oh, Albany, New York. Okay.
Yeah.
See,
I thought if you were down
American
south, 'cause
Idol
that's just
scarred
legal
him.
down there.
down there.
Bleh.
It's a common thing. Up in New York, I'm
Gross,
like,
yeah.
well, maybe
Nah,
not.
It doesn't matter where it's legal or not. It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, there's no other. I mean,
I think that was
No
an
other
awesome
embar-
interview. I feel
Oh, I
like
did-
I've
no,
got,
I'm just
I've got a
asking.
million stories, but I'm going to save it for the book,
yes.
which I'm going to start writing. I don't know when it's going to come out, but if you want to hear more, you got to wait and read the book.
oh no, we're
instead.
gonna have Jason
We'll-
Lee back
we'll be on
when he's
video
done
in about
done
6
with
months.
publishing the book. I'm assuming 6 months or so.
We'll talk about
And-
hopefully that
and,
UFC stuff. Yeah.
We'll have him back. I hope you guys enjoyed this second segment of Too Much to Handle.
wait. We still got a review with Jason. We got to end it.
Oh shit!
We went to a nice restaurant today, which we need to review. I
I-
heard we're supposed to do that. Is that right,
yeah,
Billy?
hell
Wow.
yeah. We got
wow.
it.
Listen to
Billy the
Jason.
Kid, we got to fucking review this
Jason's-
restaurant.
Jason's taking over the show right now.
Yeah.
Listen,
Holy shit!
we went to lunch today.
So for those of you who don't know, well, obviously none of you know, we are going to critique a restaurant or bar with our soon-to-be guest. And this week we happen to do Crazy Burger in San Diego,
Yeah,
which
baby.
happens to be owned by Jason's cousin. So naturally, that was a shoo-in. And I will tell you that I've been there once before. Actually, I've been there a couple times before. They have the best fucking burger ever. Like if
It's
you
beyond
like
a burger.
if you like elk, if you like bison, if
Alligator.
you like alligator, if you
Kangaroo?
like camel, if you like kangaroo, they have a burger for you.
I
with
was
And
that
it's
meat.
surprised.
organic.
Oh,
Everything's fresh. It's fucking crazy. I can't believe they have fresh camel. That one always blows me away.
Yeah.
Like, does that not weird you out that they have fresh camel there?
Fresh camel, fresh alligator, fresh
Yeah,
kangaroo
but alligator
burgers.
and kangaroo, like I get that, but they have fresh camel.
Yeah.
That one always weirds me out. And I had it the last time you and I were there before the
Has a
the
great
Anthrax
happy
show,
hour.
Yes.
and I took a bite of that one, and fuck, I gotta admit, like it It was pretty.
It's
good.
out of this world. It really is.
It
I
was
mean, if you
pretty
like
good.
exotic meats, then there you go.
Because
And
I don't like the
Great
gamey
happy hour.
shit.
I'm a happy hour man, and it's in North Park,
They got great beer, great wine.
and it's your
Yep,
cousins.
Crazy Burger right
Yes.
on 30th, and what's the cross street?
It's 30th and University.
I had an amazing day. I like the environment. I like the patio. Like you mentioned, there's a line every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the weeknights and weekend nights for sure. On Friday, Saturday for sure. There's a line down the street out the door. Their burgers are out of control good. Even if you don't like fucking ostrich or camel,
I was
their beef burgers are insane. I always get the turkey burger myself because it's got a orange marmalade on it, and it's fucking wonderful.
Even with the exotic stuff, I still get the Angus burger, and it's
That-
still
that-
amazing.
That's what I had, and I was honored that your cousin hosted us today. That was awesome. So
Yeah,
I hope we
fries
go.
And they
to-
have hot dogs, they have fries, onion rings, they have all kinds of
They have
stuff.
everything.
So
They have bratwurst sliders. They have fucking
Yeah.
everything.
So,
The-
okay,
the place is amazing.
we're gonna rate.
Everyone, go to Crazy Burger
We're gonna
on
rate
30th.
it on what? How many forks are we calling it? Like our
Yeah,
restaurant? the
on
forks?
places that don't involve chicks, we're gonna rate it on a 1 to 4 fork scale, and I personally am gonna give it 4 forks.
I give it 4 forks. I had amazing.
Oh, I definitely
because
go 4 forks, man.
the,
The burgers are fucking out of this world, dude.
I mean, you may walk in and go, "Wow, this place is kind of weird,"
This is cool.
but the minute you get your food, you're like, "Holy shit!"
It's an ordinary place. I mean, it's
It's-
not
it's
crazy.
amazing.
I mean,
But-
it's very
Yeah, but the burgers
comfortable.
are crazy. No pun
No,
intended.
Yeah.
people see it. I've been since I moved back. As we know, I moved back 4 months ago. I've been wondering about that place, and today
And you
Oh,
went
no.
today and you loved it today,
yeah,
right?
It's great.
Crazy Burger is legit.
So
Super good
thank you again. Thank you to our guests.
Well, thanks for having me. I mean, look forward for the book, and we'll talk again. I'm not going to give away all my stories, but
Yeah,
we'll
no,
do some more next
Totally.
time around.
We're gonna have you back in like 6 months or so when you get that book published and get it done written, and then we're gonna
I had a
go
good time.
critique another place. We're gonna take Jason to another happy hour place. What do you think, Ao?
Yes, we got to.
Jason was a good host today, don't you think?
It was the best.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's go eat and drink somewhere else. I'm all
Yeah,
for it, brother.
absolutely. So with that being said, I'll finish it off on our final sponsor, which is National Fire Protection. If you have a commercial building that is in need of sprinklers, kitchen suppression, fire extinguishers, fire alarms, emergency exit lighting, any of the above, make no mistake, call National Fire Protection at 1-866-966-4697, or you can email them at www.nfpti.com.
Episode 4. Is that what you
All right,
said?
guys.
Adios.
Love you very much. We'll talk to you soon. See you next week. Bye-bye.